beat me to it. Welcome back, boys and girls. My name is Munchballs. This ain't an aux cable, but this is an aux caster. Welcome back to the cast, my friend.
Thank you. Sorry, I had to do it after you did in rehearsals. I had to mess with you.
Hello! It's not Jake, but we are jumping into another
sick of him,
game.
to be honest. He was crowding up the place, talking about just, you know, some of his, yeah, I mean, it's not even esports. He just talks about crisps and lollipops all day. I feel like he just tries to get insight on what we should have for lunch tomorrow.
I mean, lunch is something to look forward to in every day, I find. Ham sandwich, magnifique.
That's one. What's your peak sandwich?
Ham sandwich.
A ham sandwich, your peak just ham?
Ham salad, ham mustard, ham pickle.
Okay, fair.
Ham gherkin.
Ham and cheese?
I'm allergic to cheese, so that's a no-go from me. That's a no-go from me, dog.
Rough.
But what's not a no-go is the MVP from the last game.
You can't eat pizza?
I can't eat pizza. I do sometimes, though.
Take the hit.
Sometimes it's worth it, man. But yeah, I mean, the stats speak for themselves, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of games, someone can be successful, and we don't necessarily say that they were the better one in their role. It's due to their teammates' factors and stuff. Then Roxy was a better AD carry in that game. Just flat out. He crushed Spark, and you saw that point where he took the tower, and then he's like, oh, I'll kill you too. He outperformed him, and he sort of made it known that he is the strong AD carry in that matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're playing Xayah as well, when you can get those early skirmishes, when you can get a couple of items ahead, the rest is history at that point. You can just roll on forward through the game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're playing Kai'Sa, you need to be able to auto-attack a bit more to stack up your passive. It felt like the Roxy needed like 2 autos and you're already dead.
Especially once you get to 1 crit item, if you get a fight early on, if you just happen to crit twice, it's like, GG, I already won the game.
That's why I love the Essence Reaver IE build, because it's just raw damage. It's just like pop.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly the case, but let's talk about not what's just happened, instead what's coming up. MnM going to be going up against Phelan here. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Obviously, MnM coming on in, they're going to be, I would say, favorites coming into this one. They've got a bit of a track record behind them.
I think everyone agree with their favorites. They're 3rd place in the league. They've solidified that. They've only lost to Fnatic and Excel, the LEC sister teams, but they're looking to hold on to the 3rd place. Something we've talked about consistently is that as of this week, well, apart from the teams that got knocked out, but a lot of teams can still make 3rd place. If you win this week, if you win the next week, you can still make that 3rd place. You can't get top 2. Fnatic and Excel have those locked down, but you can make 3rd. So MnM need a good week if they want to secure that. And it's also about momentum going into finals. They are looking ahead of them as we need to try and beat Fnatic and Excel. If they start losing games to the likes of Phelan, it raised a lot of questions. But the same goes to Phelan. They are at the bottom end of the teams. With Braz getting their 1st point today, it really throws things up in the air as to who's going to be going into the bottom end of playoffs and who's going to be going to relegations.
Yeah, and bear in mind that the seeding matters a lot. This isn't just a single elimination tournament where the seeding just determines your first match. The lower the seed, the more games in the gauntlet you have to battle through. So every single match today, every single match next week, it's going to be so crucial for these teams.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting to see, because I'm hoping we get like the Cloud9 gauntlet run where they just become super stacked the more games they play, and by the time they reach the final boss, they're ready to take them down. But I don't think
they're like a rage blade of a team that just gets better and better.
Exactly, just permanently gain that attack speed. But I don't think the teams are going to necessarily see it that way. You want to make it as easy as possible for yourself and put yourself as high as you can. And obviously the big thing is also just avoiding relegations. That is the big hit for both teams. If you went down there, both teams last time that went to relegations fell out of the league. You want to avoid that.
Yeah, and Phelan going to be looking towards this game to try and get themselves some extra points to avoid that situation. But let's take a look at the teams that we have coming your way. In fact, we've got a tweet here as you can see. This is some high-level Twitter right here.
This is some peak Twitter game.
You have to get past Draft Kingdom first. All right,
do you see the little tower in the top right with Excel at the top?
Yeah, this is sick. Who made this, MnM? I want to know who actually made this for them.
It was Velia, who's works as an artist for MnM and DLC Studios.
Damn.
Velia Moon on Twitter, who made that. I actually spoke to her recently, so she's done a lot of art and stuff, and she wanted to recently try a hand animation, and she just went, yeah, I'll just wing it. She just went on YouTube and just went, I'll give it a go, and she did it in some previous weeks. We've seen some cool animations, and don't get me wrong, they were spectacular, but the fact she's come so far in such a short time is just crazy. I honestly, it's a highlight of my week seeing what new stuff comes out of MnM in terms of content, because it's always so hype.
Yeah, I mean, that was sick. Like, I remember, I was in the UK scene a couple of years ago. I don't know if you guys remember. We didn't have cool animations on Twitter like this. This is hype for me.
I'm an old man. These newfangled animations.
Back in my day. Well, MnM were there back in my day. So that's...
True. They've stuck around.
Anyway, let's take a look at who's going to be stepping onto the Rift here today as we jump on into our third match of the day. Only Angel in the top lane, Nolty, the jungler, Chibs, Yusa, and then Shogun rounding out the team in support.
Yeah, pretty stacked roster. All UK, one of the few. Phelan Gaming on the other hand, Bear Tree in the top lane, Soft in the jungle, Chimera mid lane, Achu and Wisdom support. Had a rough split, but I feel like everyone on this roster has had their glory moment where they've looked solid. Wisdom did so against Excel. You've seen Chimera and his Anivia. You've seen Bear Tree in his debut, finding a sick outplay. Yeah,
Bear Tree, super impressive player to come on into the split. And something about the UK scene and top laners, there's always spectacular plays in the top lane. And I'm excited to see if more can come out from Bear Tree.
There's two sides to it. Is every single top lane in the UK just super good? Or are they all so weak that anyone who comes in the top lane can just solo kill them and make an outplay?
Yeah,
That's the question.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see. Obviously, Only Angel are going to be in this game as well. There's the old meme of Only Angel solo killing Alfari. That was kind of the meme for a long time when he first came into the scene. And yeah, he's going to be here as well. So we'll see if Only Angel comes in.
Yeah, I think Bear Tree's hypey because he came in with his debut, found some great outplays. Wasn't enough to win the game, but he looked sick.
Yeah.
And then with Only Angel, as you said, storied, won the UK scene before, solo killed Alfari. And so far the split, particularly on Aatrox, he's been popping off and being an instrumental part to their team's success. So it's going to be interesting if he schools the new player or if Bear Tree can put up a bit of a fight.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. And I mean, if you're going to pop off, Aatrox is definitely one of the champs to do it on. Aatrox can roll a game.
I feel like this is going to be like whoever's on blue side is just going to hope that the team leave it open. And the other team is going to be like, no, we're good. Because that champion is pretty broken. Here is actually...
Speaking of Aatrox.
There was the outplay where he flashed away the second ult. It was pretty hypey. And in team fights, he had a massive impact as well. So this was one going up. It was his debut up against Enclave. And in the end, they didn't actually win this game, but Bear Tree definitely put a sort of a big case for himself for being one of the stronger top laners in the league. And you can see just in the middle of three, find the momentum, find the pressure. Just end up falling there, but for someone to debut and have so much confidence, it's great to see.
Yeah, when you get, I mean, Wisdom actually picked him up away from the fight. He's like, no, put me back in, coach. I want to make it happen, and goes 1v3. So you can see Bear Tree, definitely one of the players that you've got to be keeping your eye on during this game. But a lot of that is going to depend on the draft as well. If he does get something like Aatrox, these kind of plays can happen. But if he gets focused in that draft by the likes of MnM, maybe he doesn't get to play that playmaker. Maybe he doesn't get to have such an impact.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a contested pick. I mean, Aatrox is so staple in the meta that I feel like everyone should be able to play it, even your, 80 carry support and jungler. But it is a massive pick for both of these top laners. And the thing is, we've seen Only Angel have quite a lot of success on a lot of things. Here he is on the Akali. So far, because Bear Tree's only just debuted, we haven't seen a ton of him. We've only really had a chance to see him on that Aatrox. And it is a pretty powerful pick no matter what. Only Angel there on the Akali, popping off, finding the backline access. He's shown he has a bit more diversity in his champ pool. I'm not saying Bear Tree doesn't, but Aatrox...
But we have yet to see it.
Aatrox arguably one of the strongest champions in the game right now. So it's a given that you're going to be successful in that. But this is Only Angel showing some of his shortcomings up against Sendo, getting solo killed. And up until this sort of middle of the split point, I think a lot of people would argue that Only Angel was making the case for him as one of the strongest top laners in the league. But Sendo has, I would say, overtaken him in recent time. He's been really performing well. I do like this ult, however, just stops Kasing from being able to jump away and dash inside someone. So despite the fact he's struggling lane, still bringing it back for team fights. And that was some of his standout performances on the Aatrox. It wasn't just him in lane. It was in team fights. He was monstrous. I remember a game, MnM against Enclave, where he was just getting the perfect sweet spots on the backline and just crushing them.
Yeah, one of the big things for Only Angel for me is, like, back in the day, it was always Fiora. It was always these split pushes, and I'm curious to see how his style has changed over the years. Because I've had kind of a year and a half out of the scene, I've cast both of these top laners before. I'm excited to see whether this is, or I haven't cast Beartree, sorry, but I've cast Only Angel before.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see if his style has changed, if he's going to still be playing that same old style, whether he's just going for the 1v1s, or whether we see him more in team fights.
I think so far we've seen him more in team fights, but I guess we'll get to see from this one. It could be the game where you're against a rookie top laner, you just go, let's just dump it all top lane, pick someone to crush lane, and then just win the split push, get Nulty to set up a tent there, but I guess we'll have to see. Draft will be a huge factor coming in. It's actually interesting because Phelan, they're currently working with Pad, who was the former coach for MnM. He was their former head coach last split. So a bit of a switch up. And he was actually one of the ones featured in the animation because obviously being the old coach. A little bit, there's still a lot of love there between them, but it's interesting to see who's going to win out in the draft because obviously it's not just purely down the coaches. A lot of things go in the draft, such as player preference. Not every team is going to be in a position to have a strong draft, but I'm interested to see how it pans out. It's the old MnM coach against the current MnM coach. Coach, who's going to put them in a better situation?
You know, it makes it a little bit spicy in terms of rivalry, but also inside information. You know, he knows these players. He's going to understand what's going when the cogs are whirring.
Guys, leave a lease open for Nulty. If he picks it, he'll run it down.
Run it down the jungle.
I think, unfortunately, that one's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, that one's public information. We are going to be jumping straight on into the draft here. MnM up against Phelan. And so if you're Phelan, you're the underdog here. What are you going to be focusing on in this draft?
Personally, I feel like getting a good bot lane would be pretty strong. I think you put yourself where your solo laners are in a safe position. Chimera has shown that when he's on something like the Anivia, he's pretty stable and can just hold his own. Give yourself a powerful bot lane. Yushin Shogun, at times, looked a little bit shaky. MnM are quickly cutting down a lot of utility already with the Sona and the Karma. Achu, one of the big players to pick up the Sona AP carry and really popped off on it. And in reverse Phelan, they're looking at those flex solo laners. You see the Kiana taken away, you see the Akali taken away. This next ban's going to be Aurelia, but that does leave the Aatrox open.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's one of those things where you can't leave Aurelia up against MnM because both Chibs and Only Angel have just popped off on that pick. And it means that I expect, MnM actually could ban the Aatrox themselves, so not giving Beartree that comfort. I expect the Aurelia ban to come out here, and then MnM actually going to be left open. So I feel like you just first pick Aurelia here. I think there's no doubt in my mind.
So Aurelia available here for the first pick. There are obviously a few other strong picks available, but with Chibs, with Only Angel on the squad, that Aurelia is a solid pick to lock in. If you're feeling then, how do you answer that kind of pick? How do you answer an Aurelia being locked in as the first?
With difficulty, but it looks like they're not even going in that direction. No, they are. They bait us.
Never talk about hovers.
I had to expect them to go for it. It is their go-to if it's left open. I'm surprised that Phelan opted to. Does mean they were able to cut away that Yuumi, but now it goes over to Phelan. So I feel like it's difficult because it's a flex. You can't pick something right now that's an answer, but you can sort of lean in that direction.
So maybe just look towards other lanes, look towards power picks for yourselves, as opposed to focusing on the Aurelia.
Get power in your bot lane, give yourself a bit more time. That third pick is still a powerful position to go for.
Talking about power in the bot lane.
Yeah,
Pyke
I
is
like
the one.
Wisdom on Pyke. He's been a huge playmaker. In that game against XL, he crushed Sean, and he was playing Alistair. He just found a million opportunities to punish him. I like the Pyke. I think maybe take a jungler just so it's something more stable and you're not showing too much of your comp right now. Let MnM pick a bit more and show their cards. And then that third pick, that's when you can start to look to counter because you know that you can pick and then ban away any things that would be troublesome.
Do you consider going for something like the Tristana since we've already seen that hovered for MnM? Could that become a priority?
Not a big fan of the blind Tristana. I feel like it's great in the right situation, into the right matchup. But if you pick it into Aurelia, I'm not sure how long your life expectancy will be. Gangplank actually coming about, and so this is something that's seen a ton of play overall globally in competitive, but not so much in the UK scene. It'd be interesting. It is technically a flex, but it could just be Beartree's go-to. It gives a lot of global pressure, and it also not an awful matchup in the Aurelia because you can cleanse away that stun, but not necessarily the greatest. You do have a slight range advantage.
If you can get some pressure from the jungle as well, if you can get a couple of items on Gangplank, you can actually snowball pretty hard. And the barrels, if you can position them well in a team fight, often they can be ignored in a team fight, and you can just win a team fight off of one single barrel chain right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And
there's going to be Xayah Rakan, though, on the other side, locked on in. You were talking about getting those bot lanes sorted. It's going to be MnM leading the charge there.
Yeah, and then actually Elise coming in from soft, so we're going to apply a lot of early pressure with this pick, but it does mean that you basically have to make everything happen pre-6. So this is Phelan basically saying, we want soft to impact the map as much as possible. And then Silas going to be banned away from Nulty. I think Olaf needs to be the next ban from Phelan. it is Nolty's go-to up against the Elise. Still leaves him with a decent champ pool. But my other issue is the Sejuani, because Sejuani with an Aurelia is such a strong combination. So Phelan in a bit of a difficult position right now. You can't really ban away solo laners because they can just flex the Aurelia to the side. And MnM, they will take this opportunity to cut away things that are going to be troublesome if they put that Aurelia in a certain lane. Renekton not going to be option on the top side. You have the next ban available, and Olaf did come through as a ban. Sejuani still open. So I expect to see that to be drafted by MnM in the later phase, and then potentially a melee mid laner, melee top laner to follow up. It would give them a really strong composition.
Ezreal are going to be banned away there instead, and now Phelan have to decide. They have to start to define this comp a little bit more now. Start to look towards their mid lane and their bot lane here. It's going to be Veigar locked on in.
Could be a flex. There's been a little bit of Veigar bot I've seen in recent times.
Yeah.
It's effective against the Rakan because his mobility is counteracted by that cage. Does have an element of scaling.
His health bar is counteracted by the ultimate.
True, and it's not the greatest because you are, an immobile mage, but the cage is such a strong team fighting tool against the likes of an Aurelia. But speaking of team fighting tools, MnM going to pick up that Kennen, and now it goes to what they're going to take in the jungle. Sejuani definitely an option if they want to set up Chibs on that Aurelia. Jarvan a possibility if you want to lock that Veigar in a cage. I think Nolty, he's going to take what I said. He's going to go for Sejuani, so easy to stack up that stun passive with the Aurelia.
Yeah, and just an exceptionally strong jungler right now. Very safe pickup to go for as well. Up against the Elise. Obviously, Elise going to be very strong in the early game when it comes to ganking presence and things, but Sejuani shouldn't have too much trouble just trying to get to level 6 and then starting to fight back.
Yeah, absolutely. So last pick here, we will see if that's an AP carry Veigar, or something else, and looks like it will be. They're going to put that at least in the mid lane. So to me, Phelan have drafted this sort of composition where they have a lot of scaling elements in the Veigar, the Pike, and the Gangplank. They are massively strong in the latest stages, but mid lane and jungle, that is early game power. My one criticism is that by going for the Elise, that's an AP mid jungle combo.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of Aurelias like to go that Wit's End first. I feel like it may just become very difficult for them to deal with the likes of Nolty and Chibs if he rushes that Wit's End, and then overall MnM's team comp, the team fighting Stella, the scaling Stella, I feel like if Phelan missed that mark in the early game, they're going to have to wait for the ideal window for Veigar to scale up.
Phelan have that classic style of composition where it's like win lane, win game, right?
Yeah.
Every single lane has the potential to snowball. Bar maybe Gangplank will take a little bit longer, but you've got a very aggressive early jungler. You've got LeBlanc, who, as you've probably seen in solo queue, LeBlanc can just pop off entirely.
Yeah.
You've got a Veigar. Veigar, if you can get ahead, if you start to stack up some AP, Veigar will obliterate a game single-handedly. But the entire team is so squishy. If you fall behind, you're done.
And the big thing is as well is that they've put themselves in a position where they are so reliant on mid-jungle. Mid-jungle needs to win and expand that pressure to the map. Veigar scales well, Pike scales well, Gangplank scales well. If they win that mid-jungle, the game can be theirs. But if they don't, I feel like they're just going to get rolled over. And when you're against an Aurelia Sejuani, that is a strong 2v2. And on top of that, it's a double AP mid lane, so you can just build MR, you can just stack that. If they don't find a kill pre-6, I feel like they may be going towards the point where they're just going to lose the game completely. I think I'm looking at Soft, I'm looking at what he does pre-6. For me, at least, it's all that's the reason you pick that champion, for what you can do pre-6. So it's on you. You picked yourself the tools, you just have to use them.
And on the other side, we have that Sejuani. I'm kind of foreseeing situations where if this Veigar can't get ahead in the early game, the Pike can't get ahead, you got Zaya Rakan down there with Sejuani coming on in as well. If they can just get onto Veigar, he doesn't have that much health and he has no mobility whatsoever. If the cage is on cooldown, he's going to be blown up pretty quickly, and it can lead to dragon control, it can lead to early towers, and it can lead to snowballing the game in favor of MnM.
And the big thing as well is that as Veigar, his biggest thing is his execution from his ult. If you aren't powerful enough to get someone low, you just won't kill them. If your team isn't doing enough damage to get someone low, you just won't kill them. They could blow up Sejuani in a rotation, or they could be so far behind that they couldn't do it in like 10 seconds of just damaging the Sejuani. And that's the big thing, is that it's so feast or famine for Phelan.
The other side of that, though, is obviously you do have Veigar with the execute on his ult, but you also have Pike down there. So you have essentially 2 executes there. If you can just deal a little bit of damage to someone, even if 1 execute doesn't finish the job, the other one's probably going to come in.
It's like, it'll get to a point where you're like, okay, what's the kill range? If this is the full health bar, it's like, okay, I've lost 50 HP.
Kill range is here.
I'm in kill range. I'm going down. Because the ult still has pretty high damage.
Exactly.
Even without the execute. The scaling is quite nice.
And if you can get the Vanguard to level 3 early, it's actually going to one-shot any other level 2 unit on the... sorry, that's TFT.
Wrong game.
Wrong game.
Unfortunately.
Wrong game. Here we go then. We're going to jump onto Summoner's Rift. Kick this one off in style is MnM going up against Phelan. MnM going to be on our blue side. Phelan going to be on that red side as we start this action off. And as we've said already, Phelan have to put their foot on the accelerator at the start of this game. A lot of pressure going to be on Soft, on this ganking jungler. This Elise needs to start the ball rolling quickly.
I like that they put themselves in a position where the game is in their hands. They've picked an aggressive mid-jungle. They haven't just gone, we're going to scale up and wait. But we have to see it work. Soft has picked this. He has put the game on his shoulders. He needs to make it effective. And last time we saw a LeBlanc against Chibs Aurelia, it was Vixen playing it for Demise. And he got solo kill level 4. So...
Demise was the word.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, I'm hoping Chimera can find some more success. It is a favorable matchup for LeBlanc, especially since the W from Aurelia no longer reduces magic damage. But skill, lane matchups, are one thing, skill matchups are another.
Absolutely, and a lot of that, as you said before, is going to be in the hands of Soft. He has to have some pressure in this mid lane. He has to have some presence around the map to stop Chibs being able to, if you can find the opportunity, Aurelia can certainly go for an all-in up against the likes of a LeBlanc if the opportunity presents itself. However, if Soft has pressure in this mid lane, if he's constantly available and nearby, it becomes very difficult for Chibs to be able to find any kind of situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Fairly passive lanes coming out top and bot so far. One of the issues with this Veigar is that you are trying to look to use your Q consistently to farm. Level 2 actually hit by Chimera, and Chibs will just back off and be respectful. Good that he's found the priority so far. This was something that Vixen really struggled to do. He just respected Chibs too much until he didn't. Gave him too much space until he was too strong, and have to see Chimera not letting that happen. But yeah, the issue is you want to be farming with your Q, so a Q does let the wave push into him. Well, quite a lot of damage already.
I was going to say, yeah, they're almost getting towards a turret plate at this early stage. Yusa, obviously, on that Xayah, can chunk away at those towers if he's able to just lash out those auto attacks. Soft going to be just grabbing his red buff, and we'll see where he wants to go from there, if he chooses to be a little bit more aggressive, or if he just continues clearing. Could be looking towards a 3 buff. And that is just a beautiful little teddy bear right there.
Yeah, it is literally
doesn't need
bear
Aatrox.
tree. It doesn't need Aatrox. And that's actually a nice thing about the Pyke Veigar combo is that you can pull them through the cage and get the stun. Soft finds it.
Here we go. It's going to be on to Only Angel. He survives for now. Repel just about gets Soft out of there. One more Q could have got Only Angel a double buff, but nothing comes of it in the end. A flash for a flash.
Yeah, trade of Summoner spells. Only Angel maybe a bit on the back foot here, but big thing is that Soft... Oh, wait, Yusa.
The baby K just caught a bird.
Double stun.
The Chu going to be taking some damage here. Shogun does get out, gets himself that shield. Soft now getting chased by Nolty. Only Angel going to be coming to try and support his jungler. Nothing comes of it in the end. Once again, Soft walks away.
Yeah, playing with fire. Now that you're flashing reveal, but Nolty actually used his flash to try and find him there. So you got to be pretty happy right now with Soft. 2 flashes down on the top side for MnM.
Here we go, Shogun jumping on forward, or actually being pulled on forward by Wisdom, but neither team willing to commit to these fights, and not too surprising in the first couple of minutes.
I mean, that's the big thing, is that Achu and Wisdom are playing so well around their CC, they always find the advantages, but they just don't have the damage yet. You need level 6 before you offer that all-in potential, because right now, you just can't actually provide enough damage to kill them. Just isn't enough burst.
Yeah, and you can see up in that top lane as well, we're getting to the point where Gangplank starts to struggle. He's run out of mana, he's run out of stacks on his flask, and he's against a Kennen. Kennen doesn't run out of mana. He's got a Doran's shield, so he's got that sustain as well as a Doran's blade. So Kennen is going to be more than happy just queuing him away, just getting those autos in, getting stuns in, and he's actually forced Bear Tree back to base.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what build Only Angel goes for. The more teamfight focused one is the Proto Belt. The more split push one is the Hextech Gunblade. It'll be interesting to see which one he thinks is a priority here.
We'll have to see which kind of build he is going to go for in this one. Scuttle Crab taken by Nolte as the Mountain Drake is going to arrive on the map. And we'll see if there's any focus going towards that. You have to kind of lean towards the side of Phelan Gaming there. Soft can look towards that Drake, can look towards pressuring this bottom side. However, Achu, very little mana. Here we go. Grab comes in from Wisdom. He's going to look for the stun as well. They're getting onto Shogun, but just so little damage available.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the effectiveness of the combo. You can easily put them in that cage and then just use all of the Pike CC. They're playing it well, but until they hit that 6, the kill pressure's not there. So Shogun can essentially just chill. Interesting to see that he's going to Ignite, whereas Yusa's going to Cleanse. Sometimes he double cleanse bot lanes, especially when, if you think about what Shogun has to deal with to get in on and get access to this Phelan backline, you're going to be running through the cages, you're going to be running through cocoons. It's a bit tricky, but he's opting for the extra kill pressure. But so far, they've shoved the lane in, but they haven't really found any opportunity to apply pressure in terms of kills.
Yeah, it's been tricky for them so far. I want to ask you about Soft here. Obviously, he's on this Elise. We've been talking about how it's an early game jungler. We've been talking about how he needs to pressure. What should he be looking for? Is there a game? Is there a lane he should be focusing on? Is there an objective he should be focusing on? Or is just farming up for now actually an alright strategy?
Well, personally, I would be looking at this bot lane who have been shoved in for the past 6 minutes, who keep getting CC'd up by your bot lane, and I'll just walk in, use a rotation, and then die. Like, Shogun kept getting locked up by kills consistently. Oh,
no.
Doesn't quite charge enough to connect. But yeah, you see Achu and Wisdom keep setting up these potential ganks, but Soft just isn't there to follow up. So yeah, I think that you should be looking to be more proactive. You should actually tend to even sacrifice your early farm just to try and find these ganks, because at the end of the day, you've kept even with Nolte, but he's going to hit level 6 soon. He's going to get a massive power spike, and he's just going to scale and be stronger and stronger than you.
Yeah, worth mentioning, Nolte is actually a level ahead right now. Soft still only level 4. Current situation. Chimera and Chibs have got their ultis now in that mid lane. Do you expect this to be continuous farming here, or should they be roaming? Or are we going to see some fights in the mid lane here?
Well, the difficulty now is that Chibs is going for that fairly common with Zen Rush.
Yeah.
I just feel like Chimera no longer has the damage to kill him on a full rotation, and you burn a lot of mana trying to go for poke.
Here we go, starting to position around this Dragon. Wisdom, looking for a little bit of something, but Shogun just going to push him away here. Scuttle Crab taken, and Nolte now going to start this Mountain Drake up. Very good positioning for MnM. No damage dealer is going to come and back him up, but so long as they have vision control, it's not going to matter. Yeah,
no contest right now. Chu has just hit his 6, but Soft behind on levels. Wisdom not available. Soft, I mean, you can try and walk in here, but that Sejuani is looking a lot stronger than you right now.
Here we go. Wisdom wants to find this fight. He's not level 6, though. Look at the stun coming on down. First blood immediately. Chimera jumps straight back out of the fight. He knows he cannot contest this one. Yusa going to get himself some honey fruit as Wisdom looks to re-engage. Still only level 5. Will not have his ultimate. Ignite comes on down. Chimera is going to trade his own life as the dragon falls as well. Baby Cage comes just to get the disengage. And all things considered, it's 2 for 1.
Yeah, 2 for 1, but MnM also secured that dragon, and I said it was a bit ambitious for Soft to look for that. You're level 5, you're dealing with a Sejuani ult, and you could see perfect for Nolte. They one-hit that Spider Lady, not even a chance to repel, and it was just a weak early game from Soft, followed by a poor attempt to get back into the game.
It's honestly weird, because it's like, it felt like Soft got hit by a cocoon almost, right? The pick from the Sejuani ultimate was almost like what you expect to be coming out from the side of Elise, but it was Soft, the one going down to it in the end. Achu going to be able to get his cage down towards Shogun. Can't quite land the damage though. Just look at the amount of minions slamming on into that tower though. Nobody going to be in range for that armor plate in gold. Wisdom waiting in the wings. Here comes Soft. They want to make something happen. There's no wards in the tri-brush.
They have the kill potential now. They have the level 6 from Wisdom and Chu. Both those executes could definitely be enough, and Yusa no longer has that ultimate available. They're waiting for them to step up.
I don't think they're leaving that tower, though. They have absolutely no reason to right now. Shogun going to be the one furthest out in the lane, but Soft has decided it's not worth it, and Wisdom going to be basing as well.
I think you have to sense it. The fact that Wisdom isn't there and Achu is playing so far up, you do not stand in that position as a Vigar unless you have some backup. But Yusa and Shogun, they might be looking for a play on their own. It would be a 3v2, but if they find the burst quick enough, no, they are just going to play it safe. And I mean, it makes sense. If a Vigar's walking up by himself, standing in front of you in ult range, he's either trolling or he's baiting.
It's a frustrating situation for Phelan, though, because, you know, Soft just spent so long down there. All he got is one large Krug for a solid at least minute of presence down in that bottom lane. But Wisdom now rotating up towards this mid lane. Soft's going to be here as well, and Chibs could be in trouble. Looking for the stun, does get it onto one, dives straight on back in, trying to dodge all of the CC. Excellent footwork, but it's not going to be enough. Death from below.
Yeah, and it's a massive amount of gold. The double cut going to Wisdom. A good kill to pick up, but despite all that gold, still 500 down, but it is what you need to see from Phelan. This Roman Death Squad might find more than they want.
Charm, knock up all of the CC, and that's another kill for Yusa. Immediately picks Wisdom apart.
Yeah, just question. What's interesting as well is that Wisdom hasn't opted to upgrade his Relic Shield, only has now, instead favoring that mobility, and only Angel.
Here we go, stun comes on in, and he's actually going to flash for the ultimate as well. Achu is in serious trouble. One more Q will do it, and there it is. Only Angel finds himself a solo kill.
Yeah, just finds the damage there. And we'll see a replay of that play in the mid. So Chimera actually messes up a bit here. Goes for the double distortion, then misses the chain. But Chibs tries to outplay by going backwards, and it's great from Soft. He holds his cocoon for so long. No way to dodge away from that one.
Yeah, very nicely done. And now MnM going to be the ones in position for this Herald. It felt like Phelan were going to take this objective, but the pick coming on out off the back of everything else. It was Yusa that picked up the kill onto Wisdom. And I was going to say it set them up for Herald, but we could have some contest here.
Soft, you need a flash.
Yeah, teleport comes on in as well. Herald solo, but it looks like it might actually reset on this one. All of the health comes back at the last possible second there. Now, it's just 5v5 back and forth right here.
But Phelan have priority on mid. They can go straight and there and start getting some tower play in. MnM head round to contest, but remember, only Angel doesn't have that ult anymore. That's a massive team fighting tool to be down, and instead they send Chibs up to the top side, and Phelan are just going to look for some plates.
Yeah, see if they can get any of them. They should be able to get one here. One more would do the job, but actually,
they did get the goal. They did get the goal. It flew over to Chimera there.
Okay, nice. Nice.
But still, considering that Chibs is just soloing that top tower, not exactly a great trade.
Extra recall animation, isn't it?
It's just overkill.
It's so crazy.
It's pay to win.
It looks like they're spawning Rift Herald, honestly.
Yeah.
It's so massive.
There's some pretty hypey skins this game. I believe Chibs has the KDA. Is it KDA? Yeah, the Prestige KDA Aurelia, the gold trim. It's pretty nice skin.
I don't think that there's a KDA Aurelia, is there? Is there? I think it's just Prestige. I don't think it's KDA at all.
Isn't Project Prestige? Well, I don't know. I don't know my skins.
KDA is like Ari, Evelyn, and some other
Akali
ones.
and Kai'Sa.
Akali,
yeah, that's it. I knew it was something. Project, whatever. You know, I'm not up to date on my skins.
Yeah, it's not my strong suit, I have to say.
I'm not a skin connoisseur.
Skin to win, baby. Here we go. Cloud Drake going to be up, though. Phelan in position to look towards this objective. They are 2k gold down right
Tell you what's the best one, though, is the what's that skin called? It's not Shamrock, because that's a Malphite skin, but the Irish Vigar.
Oh, this one. Is it not Shamrock? Lucky Vigar? I actually have no idea. I'm just guessing.
Leprechaun Vigar.
Leprechaun Vigar.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It's pretty valid.
Yeah, he's got his 4-leaf clover as well. He's hoping for some more luck, because so far he's not really been able to get much out of this game. But then again, he's Vigar, right? He's going to scale a lot with his levels. He's going to scale a lot with his items. So he's not too worried about a lack of early game presence on that kind of a pick.
Yeah. My concern here is, though, we are getting to this mid-game point. MnM are ahead. They have this beefy front line. Actually, it looks like Nulty's going to start this Herald, and Phelan going to try and return something bot lane, but only Angel.
Here we go, repels on in. Soft gonna turn this into something, but a beautiful Zhonya's blocks both ultimates. Only Angel goes back in there just from the pull from Wisdom. But wow, what a way to turn that one around. This should be a tower after the next minion wave.
Yeah, so both teams gonna be able to secure a tower in this situation, but Herald also going over to MnM.
That's gonna be Gangplank ult just to protect this tower as well. And look at this. Wisdom trying to find a fight. All right, now that the fight is diffused, I'm going to acknowledge the tweet that came up there. Thank you, Dom Sacco. It's good to be back too. But Chibs up in the top lane. It's going to be focusing down this tower, looking to trade anything, because obviously Phelan already got that tower down in the bottom lane. MnM need to trade something for that objective.
Yeah, and they will be able to ward them off from defending that tower. Nolty and Shogun waiting in the bush is pretty scary, but now Wisdom, they do manage to kill that red buff, but they might have more than they bargained for.
Stun comes on through there. It's going to be Soft going down to start this fight off. Wisdom could maybe look for something more, though. Chimera is here as well. Nothing's going to happen, though, in the end. Soft just goes down, and honestly, he is not having a fun game. 40 CS down in the jungle.
Yeah, 40 CS down on Elise. He's 1, 2, and 2, so he's had less sort of kill participation than Nolty, and 2 deaths on top of him. And he's playing a champion who falls off drastically harder, so not what we were looking for. Herald gets stoned. What is he doing?
Speaking of teamfight tactics, someone's AFK. It's going to be Yusa, though, taking a lot of damage at the start of this fight. Blown up completely. The cage comes out, and everybody escapes the event horizon. But look at the damage on Yusa. Even your ult can't save you now, my friend.
There just isn't any counterplay. Vigar presses R. You get deleted.
Good luck, have fun.
Yep.
Buy yourself a Zonia's. He actually, I don't know if he's just bought that stopwatch. I don't know if that was in his inventory already, but yeah, certainly.
He should have sold the stopwatch when he died, so that we would think that he just didn't have it.
I think he's just bought it. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, actually, no, it's from his masteries probably, so he did have it.
I'm not sure. They do tend to go boots.
I don't know.
We'll see. He is actually looking towards building a Hex Drinker right now. He understands that the biggest threat on him is that LeBlanc, is that Vigar. The thing is, if you get low enough, you can just still get executed through that by the Pyke.
Yeah, you certainly can. And now Vigar with 2 items as well, going to be offering and this is the thing about modern Vigar. You know, when you think back in the day, Vigar literally, all he offered was damage. But these days, the way that you build Vigar, you actually offer a lot of soft CC, you offer a lot of utility to the rest of the team. So he's become a much more versatile pick than he ever used to be.
Yeah, Glacial Augment, very effective. Those slows are just so difficult to deal with, and it gives you a lot more team fighting power. The fact you have the GLP as well, and the big thing that makes it all work is Ingenious Hunter. The reduced item cooldown means that you get to the point where your GLP is on around a 20-second cooldown. It's slightly longer than your cage with a bunch of CDR, so you can just throw GLP, throw cage on rotation. It's very difficult to deal with.
Here we go. Pick is going to be trying to come through here. Wisdom looking for an opportunity. Doesn't actually go for the Q in the end. Backs away from this one. And again, we've seen this quite a few times this game where Wisdom looks like he wants something. He's positioning for a fight, but just can't quite find his opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. He keeps fishing with those hooks, but hasn't really found a ton as of yet. You see him doing that. Really, you're not wrong. It's a really overkill recall.
It's so extra. Here we go. Nolty, though, tries to find him on that recall. Won't be so lucky in this situation. But when we look at the gold right now, it's 2K ahead for MnM. They've got 1 tower advantage. And when you look at the Drakes, they've got a minor advantage there in that mountain versus cloud. But all things considered, it's not such a tremendous lead to them that I don't feel like Phelan are that far behind right now. I feel like if we can have some skirmishes, Phelan very much can take some of these fights.
It's not insurmountable. We've sort of passed the point we wanted to see Soft and Chimera make a massive impact. But they still have a Gangplank who scales very well. They still have this Vigo stacking up.
The issue is that this Aurelia is slowly but surely getting towards that Triforce, right? You've already got the Wit's End there. That second item is going to be such a huge spike for Chibs, and actually just get rooted at Chimera with an excellent little play. Chibs is in serious trouble. Death from below finishes it off. Repel to keep Soft alive, and he'll flash away with his own life. Shogun trying to chase him on down. Wisdom's in trouble. Only Angel comes in. Massive ultimate. Shocks them to death as Chimera will be ignited. Beartree trying to get away. Wisdom dashes off. It's 2 down so far. It felt like more. It's 2 for 2 at this stage. Beartree walks away.
Yeah, 2 for 2 after all that, but the low health bars on the side of Phelan. Soft already reset. He's going to head down, and Wisdom, he's waiting on the side, but he still has his ultimate available. Oh, it has just run out.
Yeah, it was on the reset right there because he got the first kill with it. They're trying to contest this Drake right now. It's an Infernal Drake, so they kind of have to by default. And here comes Soft. This could be a good situation. Shogun's very low. Dragon's going to get incredibly low. Soft manages to take it in the end. Repels to the Scuttle Crab. And that is beautiful play from Phelan.
They closed a massive amount of that gold gap, and they managed to get the Infernal as well. I thought that whole fight was done. We see Chain comes in, and this is crucial. They shut down Chibs at the start. Great execute coming out from Wisdom. And then the fight starts. And they use so much to try and ward off Shogun. Only Angel finds a beautiful flank.
It felt like this was the end,
I thought this was it. I thought this was the fight done. They take out Chimera on the back end. They take out the Viger as well. And then Beartree is left to run away. But it was actually a great read from Soft. He recalled and managed to get back there in time while Wisdom and Beartree brought that for him. And Chibs, once again in trouble.
Chibs in a cage, and he's 1 versus 3
stun.
right here. Look at the CC. There is nothing you can do about that. He's already got Merc Treads, but it just doesn't matter.
And that's the power, is that you pull him through into the cage. And one of the great things about Vigar is that you get free CDR on your W with stacks, so you don't need to put any points in there at all. You put your points into your E after you've maxed your Q. It extends the duration of the stun.
Yeah.
2.5 seconds at max rank. It's not quite there yet, but it's a long stun, considering how big it is as well. Merc Treads just is not enough to cut that down.
Yeah, and you know, coming into this game, MnM are the favorites. Like on paper, when it comes to the scores on the board, when it comes to the sheer power on the roster, it feels like MnM are the favorite. But when you look at the scoreboard right now, this is dead even. And when you look at the champions in the game, when you look at who is fed, you got a 3-1-3 Pyke right there for Wisdom. He is looking for these fights, and this is the time in the game where he wants them. These mid-game skirmishes is where a Pyke can turn an even game into a victory.
Absolutely. If you start getting resets, you can just burn through these the enemy team. They don't have high enough HP to sort of be at a safe limit from your execute. A little bit of burst from LeBlanc, a little bit of burst from the Vigar, and it's just an easy pop.
Easy pop, easy clap. It's going to be a Hex Drinker actually coming out here from Yusa just to make sure that he's a little bit safer from the LeBlanc, from the Vigar. There is a lot of burst magic damage on this team. He's going to be looking to try and survive that Wisdom. Going hunting once again. He's not going to be able to find anyone just now as he swims through the air. But honestly, MnM, like we've been saying, they do have that late game AD carry. Kennen is not going to fall off at any point in this game. Oh, here we go. CC onto Nalty.
It's Nalty. Of all the people to stun, probably not the one you're going to be able to take out. But it shows that later in the game, the pick potential could apply to anyone. Actually, QSS used by Shogun there, so scared of the burst that could potentially come out. And with good reason. One full rotation from Vigar, especially with Wisdom backing him up, and that can be enough to pop.
Let's see how this one's going to continue to go. Beartree so far has been very quiet this game. He's more than happy for that to be the case, though. He's off, chilling in his side lane, farming on up. That's exactly where you want to be as Gangplank. He's got his Triforce, heading towards his second item as well. He is very comfortable to just continue to farm, continue to stack some items, because those barrels are only going to get better the longer this game goes on.
Absolutely. And now a Death Brush being set up by MnM. Vision's on the Baron, though, so Phelan really have no reason to check this. And they realize that and will reveal themselves. It shows the sort of state that MnM are in, normally completely confident against these lower teams, but here, showing a bit of uncertainty, needing to go for some of these cheesier plays to try and find something to cement their lead in this game. Beartree, as you said, just happy to farm up, getting those extra stacks, not only gold, but also to upgrade Nuzult, which can be massively impactful later on.
So I have to ask you at this point, you know, we've been saying that Phelan were the ones that had to make some early aggression happen, right? Yeah. They were the ones that had the onus on them in the early game. At what point in this game does it become MnM's game to win, right?
I think it's a rough one. I think MnM's advantage is more their team fighting prowess. If they find the right engage, they're just so powerful. No,
Yusa's in trouble right here. The root does land. Will be able to cleanse that one away. Uses his own ultimate. And the Blade Caller root's just one, but he's alive. That's the key thing. Nalty now going to be locked up, but the rest of the team starting to arrive. Chips getting onto the backline. He's all on his own, though. It's going to be Wisdom falling first. Look at the damage coming out from him. 2 for 1 right now in favor of Phelan.
Yeah, Phelan find the fight. They managed to take down Nalty as well. It shows that no one is safe from this Vigor. And MnM, they need to engage the team fights if they want to find the success. They need Kennen on a flank, but right now, Phelan are playing to their tune. They cannot do anything when they're trying to run straight at this Vigor. They need to come at 2 angles. That is the big thing for me, because if you run at this Vigor, you get slowed, you get caged, you will not win.
It's so difficult to get onto that target. Fourth Drake of the game, third Drake for Phelan. It's going to be a second Cloud Drake for them. But Baron is on the map too. We're 25 minutes in, and right now, vision control is kind of debatable for both sides. Neither team has a significant advantage. I'm curious if that's going to be the next focus for these teams.
And Shogun going very aggressive here. We'll dash over the wall and spot out that low HP ward. So, but yeah, team's not really putting too much focus on the Baron as of yet. Next Dragon is an Infernal, so another big one. Once again, Phelan would have a ton of combat stats if they secured it. Especially on the back of a Vigor who stacks up so much AP. And the big thing as well, as you said, this is a very squishy team from Phelan. Every single one of them builds damage, however, which means they all benefit from the Infernal massively. If you look at the side of MnM, for them, Shogun and Nulti don't really get too much from an Infernal Dragon, but Phelan, even the support is someone who's going to build AD.
I would say especially the support,
well, yeah, by all means.
Gotta come. But you have to say that so far things are looking pretty good. But when we look at our featured matchup, the top laners here, Only Angel up against Bear Tree.
Been a bit dull.
It's been pretty quiet. We had the one massive play from Only Angel, but it didn't really translate into anything. It looked like it was going to be so much more than it ended up being.
This is fine for Bear Tree. He's at the point where he can just safely farm. And Only Angel opting for this AP Kennen means he has a lot of team fighting power. But the 1v1 against Bear Tree, it's just gotten to the point where you're not going to find the solo kills at this point.
You can eat oranges and it's K.
It's very easy to get out of that one. And MnM going quite aggressive here, looking for something.
Yeah, nice little stun there from Wisdom just to try and keep them away. This red buff started off by Soft, and he will smite that one out in the end. Here we go, the fight starting. Achu's going to be stunned up. Look at the damage coming out from Yusa. Bursts the Vigor, gets some revenge, and now Soft next on the chopping block. Down to half HP, Ignite ticking, but they can't quite follow up for the kill. Wisdom trying to protect his carry.
And you've got to ask, what are they doing? They were fighting over a red buff. Newsflash, no one really needs a red buff on your team. Achu out of position, no stopwatch, no Zhonya's. Easy pickup for MnM, and now they are looking towards that Baron.
You sneeze and Achu is gone, and now the Baron, the health melting away, 5,000 remaining. But immediately as Chibs jumping on into the fight, he's burst down, and MnM looking for a victory here. Here comes Only Angel with a massive ultimate. If the first one wasn't good enough, this one's going to make it happen. Bear Tree, last man standing, will get stunned up, and Only Angel, you said he's not got the 1v1 anymore, but I beg to differ at this stage. Bear Tree running for his life, will get away. What an explosion.
Yeah, and the Kennen ult comes in clutch. It shuts down any attempt Phelan had of winning that team fight, but they do stop the Baron. Achu's back on the map. He's got a Void Staff. He's going to be doing a ton of damage right now. I'm going to ask the observers if they can let us know how many stacks the Vigor has right now.
Yeah, because he's starting to get real scary, that is for sure. But he doesn't have any kills. He's not translated that into anything, and obviously wasn't actually a part of any of that fight. So you can get your stacks, but if you get caught out of position, Yusa definitely has the damage to make sure that you aren't going to be able to play this game. You don't get to have any fun today, Achu.
169 AP he's gaining from his stacks. Not the highest amount I've seen at this point, but definitely considerable. And the thing is, he knows he doesn't need to build any more AP necessarily himself. He has utility, he has a Void Staff for penetration. There's a lot of MR picked up already by MnM. He is looking to cut through it.
He'll certainly be looking to cut through it. And we've just been told by production that Pike currently has shared 900 gold from his ultimate passive there. Nulti takes a little blast from a barrel. But yeah, Wisdom, 900 gold. That is a huge amount of just literally free gold for the rest of his team.
But compared to the standard Pike gold he shares,
true,
it's not actually a ton.
Nulti going to be caught out right here. The redemption will heal him up a lot, though, and Soft actually the one in trouble. Walks away, or should I say crawls away with his life.
In the end, it's trade of some big ults. Soft is low, but he's in a position where he can just recall. They use the Glacial Prism, but in return, they get the Cannon Barrage. Both teams just fishing for something here in Shogun.
There we go, Shogun. Is he going to be able to dodge? The answer is yes. The cage comes out. Wisdom can't land his Q there. Now a Chu just throws out his slow, makes sure that he's going to be able to walk away with that one. Still out his spooky ghosts as well. Soph is back. He's back on full HP. Both these teams feels like they really want to fight, but they're just looking for that perfect situation.
And there's something that is worth fighting over here. The Infernal Dragon is spawning.
Bear Tree currently at the wrong side of the map, but he does have his teleport available here.
Cage is down. I don't think Phelan can take this.
They're starting this one off. Tier 2 goes down in the top lane. Shogun going to walk on forward as the Infernal is going to be finished off right there. Sort of Infernal apiece. The fight kicks off a little bit. Look at the stun. They didn't have vision. Yusa now is going to have to use his ultimate. Achu has his ultimate available. It's going to flash forward, but the stun doesn't quite land it, though. The flash comes out from Yusa as well. That is going to be a drop, though. Wisdom gets that one. And in the meantime, Bear Tree still pushing away. He will go down for his sins. But ultimately, this is a huge trade for Phelan.
Yeah, but that pink ward in the brush, I think someone misplaced that because it didn't give them vision on Yusa. He would have died.
Oh, the Zhonya's comes on out, and that is going to be him going down anyway, but a little bit of style points coming out for him.
Yeah, in the end, it is enough to take him down. They couldn't find him when he stood in the brush, but they find him on the back end, and now 40 seconds on Yusa. I don't think the health pools are available for Phelan to do anything with this, but definitely finding their way back into this game. Things were looking a bit difficult for them on the back of those massive ults from Only Angel, but Bear Tree, great split push.
Yeah, and when you look at the situation at the Dragon, right, it surely goes the way of MnM. They get the Dragon, they trade 1-for-1 on kills. However, when you look at the rest of the map, during all that time, Bear Tree managed to get himself 2 towers, the tier 2 and the inhibitor tower in the top lane. That has broken this game wide open for Phelan. If he can continue to split push with this level of potency, it's going to be so difficult for MnM to shut him out.
Yeah, absolutely. And just seen a Spellbinder picked up by Only Angel, so wanting even more to just highlight that great ult burst. Oh, but Soph.
Oh, Soph is in serious trouble here. Will get himself a stopwatch off, but the amount of CC is just undeniable. He'll go down in the end, flies up into the sky, but what comes up must come down. Chimera now will be altered by the likes of Chips. He's trying to finish this kill off and will be able to do so. Gets the kill for himself as well. Wisdom looking for something here, hovering around. Bear Tree is here, but they don't have a smite to try and steal this one with. This is a risky fight to try and take 3 versus 5. Baron slowly but surely being whittled away here. Bear Tree already has used his ultimate. It's not going to hit too much here. Nolty starting to get fairly low. Achu does have that ult available. Look at the damage coming on through. Chips now gets onto the back line. They're looking to finish Baron and will be able to do so, but the fight could go the other way. Bear Tree going to get onto Yusa. That's going to be 3 kills already. Wisdom now looking for Shogun as well. Ults over the wall, and it's going to be 4 kills in trade for a Baron.
Yeah, they get the Baron, but Phelan get the fight. Those 3 members are so strong. Bear Tree does enough to get them low, and Achu and Wisdom are there to clean up with the executes. They get 4 members with just 3 of them, and now they're cutting down the base.
And look how long those death timers are as well, straight onto these inhibitors. They have an open inhib, and he's rubbing his hands with excitement. Look at that, Connor, very happy with this one, and rightly so. Middle inhib will go down, and I think they can get top as well.
Yeah, by all means, they actually look further. 7 seconds on any member of MnM. They're looking for the game.
They're looking to end the game here. Wisdom tanking the tower. 1 turret is going to go down, but Wisdom's so low on this one. Already dropped. Nexus is going to be bare. 4 members here from the likes of Phelan. They're looking to end the game, but they're dropping like flies. It's so low. But Chimera, one more auto. There it is. Chimera takes the game.
It was so close. Phelan find 1 great fight. 3 members against 5. And that's just enough to end. They just rush down and end the game, and the fact that Chimera on such low HP just gets that last slow LeBlanc auto attack.
Unbelievable. And literally 1 more auto on him would have saved that game. I thought that was going to continue.
1 Q from Aurelia, boom, pop, and they would have just been able to restabilize the game. But
yeah, unbelievable performance coming out from Phelan. And we have an upset on our hands. Everyone predicted MnM coming on into this matchup. Phelan, turn it on its head, pick this aggressive composition, make it happen, get those objectives. And what can we say? Bear Tree, he wasn't that big in the team fights, but his presence in this game was phenomenal.
And that last Baron fight, his ult did so much. The barrels, he put a great barrel onto Only Angel, followed up by the W from Vigor, just popped him, and he still had Kenanol. I believe he still had Zhonya's as well. Actually, no, I don't think he built Zhonya's. He still had Spellbinder. He still had so much team fighting potential, and he just got blown up. That's like in Teamfight Tactics when you stacked your Kennen, and the enemy team has Phantom, and it just insta-dies. You're like, oh, cool.
He gets Phantom and Blitzcrank on him.
Yeah.
Deleted.
Well, happens, but
it does happen.
What a performance.
Well, Phelan managing to get themselves some points. MnM going to be knocked out of this one. They're the third place game, but they're the third place team, but maybe not by the end of this week. We'll have to see how the rest of the week is going to go. We've got one more game for you guys coming up right after this.